Hi, this question asks you to describe and provide reason for the hydrogen emission spectrum. Now, Mike Jones did a great video about hydrogen emission spectrum. So the concept here, you can search on YouTube and just look at the detail of this concept. I'm only adding specific explanation to this answer. Alright, so let's look at the first key points in the answer. The spectrum consists of lines converging at higher energy level. So there are two different spectrum here. We have an emission spectrum and an absorption spectrum. The emission spectrum are discrete, means specific line, color lines on a black background, versus an absorption spectrum is the opposite of that. You have a background that have all the continuous color line and have black line that corresponding to where the electron have absorbed that specific photon of that specific color. Now here we're looking at emission spectrum. The answer key say lines means specific line. Converging means getting closer at higher energy level. So as we look at the emission spectrum here, red is the lowest energy color. The distance between red and blue-green, which is higher energy level, is larger than the distance between blue-green and blue, and the distance between blue and violet is getting even smaller. So at higher energy, the lines are converging, getting closer. The second key points in the answer, the lines are due to electron emitting energy as they move from higher energy level to lower energy. So if you remember the different energy level, n of 1, 2 to 7, when an electron at a high energy level, let's say level 3, move down to a lower energy level, it will then emit, meaning give out, a photon that is a color line. In this case, when the electron is on the level n equal 3, move down to 2, it gives a red color line. Moving from 4 to 2, give a blue-green color line, and so on. That's the opposite of the absorption spectrum, where when electron from level 2 move up to a higher energy level, let's say 3, it absorbed the same photon of the same energy. Finally, the third key points of the answer, the lines in the UV region are due to transition to the lowest level, versus lines in the visible region are due to transition to n equal 2 level. So this is something you just have to memorize, that everything moving down to n equal 2 level will give you a color lines that you can see visible. Any transition all the way down to n equal 1 will give you a UV region. The way I remember it is because the gap between n of 1 and 2 are so large, any electron transition all the way down to n equal 1 will give you a pretty high energy photon, which is what UV light is a higher energy photon. It can damage your skin